Before we go to bridge, I want to first introduce you to this match because this is a very big stream. We've gone out of our way to advertise this. This is a very big matchup, and I'm going to explain why. So, let's go on a bit of a detour, shall we? Let's go on a bit of a detour. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me paint a picture for you. Welcome to our Twitch stream. Welcome to twitch.tv/GTBridgeClub. I'm your host, Sriram Ganesan. You can call me Borg Talk. And tonight, I'm proud to present before you one of the most anticipated bridge matchups in the collegiate scene. You see, in the past 5 years, there's been a new trend in junior bridge. The level of play has improved a lot within the collegiate scene. For example, 4 years ago, there were people on the best collegiate team who did not know what Drury was. They did not have that level of skill, of knowledge, bridge knowledge, or gameplay, and they were still winners. Whereas that same level of knowledge now today, that's nothing. You won't even be in the top 80% of the collegiate teams that way. So then all these collegiate teams, they've been tearing apart each other now for the past 4 years. But two powerhouses have risen far above the rest. Georgia Tech, the University of Chicago. And these are two teams that have gone head to head, and every single match between the two has been a nail-biter. And they have been consistently top 3, top 4 material as long as one can remember. But tonight, on March 25th, the years of rivalry, the years of tension, finally comes to tonight. They now fight. And this is no longer a game of contract bridge, ladies and gentlemen. This is no longer a game of contract bridge. This is a war. And they will settle the score once and for all. They play on the biggest field of them all. Twitch.tv. In front of all of us. And this is going to be perfection, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go further, I want to take a closer look at both teams. A tale of the tapes, if you will. Just to see what we might get ourselves into. I did some analysis, some calculations on both teams. So here we go, Twitch chat. Georgia Tech Gold versus U Chicago A. First, we do the tale of the tape. We analyze your individual stats and performances, Twitch chat. Are you with me, Twitch chat? How much beer have I had? Asked Funnel6262. I'm completely sober. This match is that big, okay? I do not need to be drunk to be excited. Alright. The number of players in the World Youth Bridge Team Championship. We got one from Georgia Tech, one from U Chicago. That's a tie. The number of players representing the USA in the 2020 World Youth Online Teams League. One from Georgia Tech, two from the University of Chicago. Advantage, University of Chicago. By the way, should I turn my mic up or should I turn the music down? Just to make sure you guys can hear both. Also, thanks so much for the follows, everyone. I probably have to turn... Mix is good? Okay, cool. Now, the number of players in both teams that have declared 2 diamonds double down 6 vulnerable. As far as we can tell, it's 0 for Georgia Tech at least 1 for University of Chicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech. The number of players that have preempted 2 hearts with a 3-4-3-3 shape and a combined 0 high card points. 1 for Georgia Tech. 0 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, University of Chicago. The number of Life Masters across both teams. 1 for Georgia Tech. 0 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech. Number of PhD students. 4 for Georgia Tech. 1 for the University of Chicago. Advantage. It's kind of close. PhD students means they're typically brainier, but they're also a bit more tired because they have less time to spend on bridge. So, that's kind of a tie. The number of people named Santosh across both teams. 1 for Georgia Tech, 0 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, University of Chicago. Number of players with Twitch accounts. 5 for Georgia Institute of Technology. 3 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech. And let me tell you why. That's because Twitch people are usually smarter than people who don't use Twitch. Am I right, Twitch chat? Everyone in Twitch chat is obviously more handsome, more beautiful, and more brainy than people who don't use Twitch. This is a verified fact. And now, number of players with established partnerships with the best player in the world, Brent Xiao. I pronounced his name completely wrong. I'm so sorry, Brent. 1 for Georgia Tech, 0 for the University of Chicago. And now for the bridge system's tail of the tape. Number of Polish club players across both teams, 0. And this is a lose for both teams, let me tell you why. Polish club is by far the best bridge system out there. And Polish club players usually use their brains about 60% more than bridge players who do not use Polish club. So if you use Polish club, your IQ goes higher, and you can become better at bridge. I would know after all, wouldn't I? So everyone learn Polish club. Number of precision pairs within each team. 1 for Georgia Tech, 0 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, the Georgia Tech precision pair, if they can remember their system. Press X to doubt. Number of transfer Walsh players, 0 for Georgia Tech, 1 for University of Chicago. Advantage, probably University of Chicago. Number of transfer-oriented symmetric relay players, 1 for Georgia Tech, 1 for University of Chicago. It's a tie. And now, the team dynamics and form. It's no longer about the units. Bridge systems are fine. Each individual player is fine, but we need the chemistry. We need the team to function as a whole. So we look at the final tail of the tape. The collective master points. Georgia Tech has 3,088.92 master points at an average of 617.79. UChicago combined 1,087.12 at an average of 271.78. Advantage, Georgia Tech. Total let-ins in the spring onlines this year, 180 for Georgia Tech, 141 for UChicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech. Number of faculty advisors for both clubs, 2 for Georgia Tech, 0 for University of Chicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech. The team uniform, polo shirts for Georgia Tech, sweatshirts for the University of Chicago. Advantage, well, it's kind of that season where we don't go outside, so who cares what you wear? It's a tie. Record versus Georgia Tech won in official matches in spring 2020. 1-1 for Georgia Tech. 1-0 for University of Chicago. Advantage, University of Chicago. Record versus Kevin Rosenberg in the Bridge Bowl. 1-1 for Georgia Tech Gold. 0-1 for the University of Chicago. Advantage, Georgia Tech Gold. Greatest weakness. This will be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia Tech Gold has greatest weakness is penalty doubling. For some players, the lack of it. For some players, overdoing it. For UChicago, overbidding. I think we could see this come into play today. If UChicago overbids a lot, but also Georgia Tech might be considering penalty doubling too much, knowing that UChicago overbids too much. There's some mental warfare going on over here at Twitch chat, and I'm very excited to see what happens. And now, record on twitch.tv/CT Bridge Club, the grandest stage of them all. Georgia Tech, Gold, 3-2. University of Chicago, 0-0. Advantage. Well, UChicago, they're still unbeaten, right? Probably them. Number of collegiate championships in modern era. Georgia Tech, Gold, won it in 2017. University of Chicago won it in 2015. 1-1. It's a tie. And now it's time to introduce both teams, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for the University of Chicago. Introducing first. From the left to right, we have Zihan Ten, Cynthia Huang, Ilan Wolf, and Rafael Hollerman. And first, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, playing in from the north position, he is a regional master, with a lifetime record of 241.96 master points. Tonight, he stands in at 5'7", representing the University of Chicago. Give it up for Raphael Hollerman! And next, coming from the South position, he is a junior master with a lifetime record of 158.03 master points. Tonight, he's standing in at 5'8.5", representing the University of Chicago. Give it up for Zihan 10! And next, playing from the East corner, he's an advanced NABC master with a lifetime record of 531.89 master points. Tonight, he stands in at 6 foot with the kippa. Representing the University of Chicago, give it up for Elon Wolf! Oh yeah, for the person who said I need a soundboard, what do you call it? That's actually just the song quality is not good. There are not any better versions on YouTube, unfortunately. And now, finally, from the West corner, she is a club master with a lifetime record of 155.24 master points. And tonight, she stands in at less than 160 centimeters. Please welcome the captain of the University of Chicago. Give it up for Cynthia Wong! Alright, that's enough of your Chicago music. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give it up for the Georgia Tech Gold team. In this picture, with their collegiate championship, from left to right, it's Shengding Sun, Cyrus Heddle, Zhuangdi Zhu, Richard Zheng, and Santosh Karnik. Introducing first, coming from the West position, an NABC master with a lifetime record of 248.39 master points. Tonight he clocks in at 180 centimeters. He is representing the Georgia Institute of Technology. He is Zhuangdi Zhu. And next, from the North position, he's a Ruby Life Master with 1,830.29 master points. Tonight, he's standing in at 5'9", representing the Georgia Institute of Technology. Give it up for Richard Zheng! Oh fuck, this didn't... Oops. And next, coming to South position, he's an NABC Master too. He has a lifetime record of 431.22 master points. Tonight, he's standing at 6'125", representing the Georgia Institute of Technology. Give it up for Cyrus Heddle! And next, he is substituting for the first session. He'll be coming on later, but he's an NABC Master with 213.33 master points. Tonight, he's standing at 6'1", representing the Georgia Institute of Technology. Give it up for Shengding Sun! And finally, the captain to lead us all, coming from the East position, he is an NABC Master. He holds a lifetime record of 356.69 master points. Tonight, he stands at 5'2.5". Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the captain of the Georgia Tech Gold team, Santosh Karnik! Guys, my voice is dead. Alright. Everyone, please applaud. Give it up for both teams, Georgia Tech and U Chicago. Give it up for all 9 competitors, and special shout out to Cyrus Heddle, Cynthia Huang, Ariane Stark, and Michael Mashella for helping me out with this introduction.